Police tasered a man and shot two dogs dead in front of screaming witnesses in East London. Footage posted on social media showed officers pursuing the man holding the two dogs on a short leash along the canal in Limehouse. London Scotland Yard has issued a defence of its armed forces, saying police have a duty to act where necessary before any further injury is caused.
Okay, let's stop right there. Let me make sure that all of you see the same screen that I'm seeing. Sorry about that. I'm still trying to master this new layout or new program. I want to focus on what is going on over in the UK, because the UK, for the most part, to me, feels just as bad, if not a little worse, than the nuttery here in the United States. Okay, and there seems to be an equal amount of nuttery over there in the UK. For this petition to get over, and in the title, I put over 120,000 signatures. I have to edit that because that petition almost has 300,000 signatures as I speak. And if I'm not mistaken, that thing was created just recently. I know that it was created just recently. And already has almost 300,000 signatures. And I'm not kidding. So I have to, as I speak, I'm changing the title of the stream right now. Oh yes, this is pretty ridiculous. So with a petition like this tells me that there's almost 300,000 people on the other end of my argument. So it is us versus 300,000 people. I'm okay with that. Let's look at what they're trying to argue and hold it up to scrutiny. First of all, big shout out to everybody. Hopefully, I have a lot of the UK Crusaders in the building. I see my man, Mr. Payne. Shout out to everybody. And big shout out to everybody who's been following me for a long time. Lala, Stars. Big shout out to everybody. Stars in the house. Buster Gundo, Death Ranger. My man Yusuf up in here. Wish you well. And I wish all of you well. I see you, King Duck. This petition, as you could have guessed, upset me, infuriated me. The fact that it got nearly 300,000 signatures. Now I have the petition right here. As we speak, 267,000 signatures. And this thing, okay, when was this? I don't know when it was created. It was created 2 days ago. Nearly 300,000 signatures in 2 days. That's pretty impressive. I'm impressed. Nutters, I'm impressed. Now, can you impress me as we hold your argument up to scrutiny? Let's get into it. Now, I stopped the video at that point because there was a whole lot to unpack in that first 22 seconds with the choice of words of this young lady. Now, this was uploaded 4 days ago. Let me back this up a little bit, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on what is being said. I listened to every word.
Shot two dogs dead in front of screaming witnesses in East London.
Screaming witnesses? Nobody cares if witnesses are screaming. Okay? Just because people are screaming does not mean that what they're screaming for is somehow justified. Okay? They're screaming over the welfare of the dogs. That does not mean anything. Okay? They threw that in there to try to project the idea that the police officers were doing something immoral in front of screaming witnesses because the cops were doing something that was so evil. Stop. Right, let's continue.
London. Footage posted on social media showed officers pursuing the man holding the two dogs on a short leash along the canal.
Oh, she said the video showed a man holding the two dogs on a short leash. Really? Two pit bulls, two giant bully breeds. Even a grown man is unable to control two pit bulls that want to attack. They will drag him. Do you understand? They will drag him. So don't try to tell me about a leash that they were on. You got one man with two bully breeds on a leash. They may as well be off leash.
Two dogs on a short leash along the canal in Limehouse. London's Scotland Yard has issued a defence of its armed forces, saying police have a duty to act where necessary before any further injury is caused. Now, it's a disturbing video that has been making a round.
Okay, now they've edited this video. I thought this was the most appropriate video to share. They've actually blurred out the dog so you don't see a dog being shot or a dog dead or a dog bleeding. Hopefully this is okay and they won't disable the comment section of this video.
Rounds on social media. It shows.
Now you heard her say that the man had the dogs on a short leash. Is that what you see here?
Officers pursuing a man holding the two dogs, and an officer is heard telling the owner that they need to assess the dogs and him.
They were telling him that we need to assess you and we need to assess the dogs. Now they claim these dogs right now are on a short leash. Look at this.
The dogs can be seen barking at several armed policemen.
Oh, did you just see him run away and leave those two dogs right there? Okay, 300,000 people. I want y'all listening. Did y'all see that? See, pit nutters, they obviously have different vision. They see things that we can't. But I saw a man who left his dogs there, no longer on a leash, and he limped away, leaving these police officers in danger.
Telling the owner that they need to assess the dogs and him. The dogs can be seen barking at several armed policemen as the man turned away from the officers.
Okay, oh, so what? We don't want to talk about that? Is that somehow irrelevant? You have two pit bulls, angry, aggressive pit bulls, off leash. I don't know what she's talking about, that these things were on a leash. I didn't see no leash. And even if there was a leash, he dropped it. And that's when the cops shot them. And I really don't care when the cops shot them. These mutants were clearly, obviously, out of control. Don't try to sell me this idea that police officers in the UK hate dogs and get off on seeing dogs in pain and dying. Is that what you're trying to tell me? That is what you're trying to tell us. If you're trying to punish these police officers for shooting these dogs in this situation.
Now the man was reportedly pursued by 7 officers who told him
No. These are dog lovers who justifiably shot violent, vicious, aggressive, deadly dogs that were lunging at them. Look at the video.
As the man turned away from the officers. Now the man was reportedly pursued by 7 officers.
That dog, you clearly see it charging at them. And they're actually being very reluctant. That's what it appears to me. Very reluctant to use lethal force. Now the people, the witnesses, the nutters are claiming that the police officers could have used a non-lethal force? I don't think so. I've seen dogs tasered, especially pit bulls. When they are fired up, they don't feel no pain, don't feel nothing.
Who told him to come back. The situation, it became heated and the man was tasered to the floor. While the animals, they were...
This man, this dirtbag, left those dogs there on purpose in hopes that those dogs would attack and in hopes that the cops shoot them. He wanted those cops to shoot those dogs. Let me get me a lawsuit. Oh, here, let me leave my dogs. Okay, what did you think was going to happen? Crazy, we got nutters who saying that the cops should not have shot these off-leash aggressive dogs. Really?
Were shot dead. In a statement, the police said the aggressive behavior of the two dogs was of considerable concern and posed a significant threat. The cops were called after a report of a woman being attacked by dogs. The police...
So a woman had already been attacked.
And I'm quoting here, this is never an easy decision for any...
The police show up, the dog's still being aggressive. They see that the dogs are in the possession of this crazy, out of control man who seems mentally ill. The man then turns around, leaves the pit bulls there off leash as he limps away. And these nutters are saying that the cops should have used kid gloves with the dogs. The cops should have tried to play with the dogs. You know how nutters think. Oh, it was wagging its tail. I'm pretty sure somebody said that. Oh, I saw it. I saw the dogs. They were wagging their tail. Oh, look at that evidence. Tail wagging. That's about as strong as their argument gets.
Officer to take. The man was arrested for having a dog dangerously out of control and assault offences. The statement indicated that the Directorate of Professional Standards will review the circumstances of the incident. Our correspondent Alex Isaac has more on the story.
Review the circumstances. It's not rocket science. It's clear what was going on, what happened. And the same thing happened in this case, happens all the time. Some dumb nutter in possession of two pit bulls. And again, nobody, literally nobody, no man, no woman, nowhere on this planet can 100% of the time control two pit bulls. One person will get dragged by a pit bull. When you have two, you basically have a horse. Ain't nobody gonna stand there and hold two pit bulls that are trying to attack someone or something. That is exactly what you all are trying to argue. No, I'm not gonna venture into this wacky world, this nuttery world of yours. We're not gonna hold this argument there. We're gonna hold it in reality. The only way these people have an argument is for you to be unrealistic along with them. Oh my goodness. This is just too much.
A video that's been making its way around social media over the weekend has shown Metropolitan Police officers shooting dogs after the owner let them off the lead. Now, police have released a statement confirming that 2 dogs were destroyed. It said in the statement, the aggressive behaviour of 2 dogs was of considerable concern and posed a significant threat.
Why would you go after the police in such a situation? As often as we complain about police misconduct, this is what kills me. Quite often, there are true cases of true bona fide police misconduct, where the police themselves have to acknowledge that their police officers conducted in a criminal manner. Police officers will do things to shame the department. And we put the hammer down on them. So why in a situation where it's clear that the police officers did the right thing, you actually attack them in response to the times when they do the right thing and actually protect the community, when they actually make the community safer? They show up and put down 2 dogs that have already attacked someone, attacked a woman, and were still acting aggressively. You know, after they had just tasted blood, they were still going to act violent. Police show up, neutralize the threat, and you form a petition. Do y'all know this petition, almost having 300,000 signatures, will be like the highest signed petition on change.org? Let me go back here. Is this? No, here it is. Look, at 300,000 signatures, this petition becomes one of the top signed on change.org. So they are viciously attacking this police department for one of the times when the police actually did their job. Do you know how many children the police officers probably saved? These dogs could have went roaming through the community, randomly attacking people, already attacked a woman, already demonstrated that they were violent and dangerous. How could this signature have gotten this many stupid people to sign it? Really? Look at the nature of this case. What are you talking about?
It's never an easy decision, but police have a duty to act before any
The London police, they are a bunch of dog lovers. What you're looking at on the screen is the police officers in London. Just like I've said repeatedly, police officers are among the greatest dog lovers on the planet. If they shoot a dog, it's because they had to shoot the dog. I don't even want to hear nothing you have to say, nutters. And I hope the people within law enforcement and whoever is in charge dismiss this petition. Nobody cares that there are a bunch of stupid people in the world. We already know that. I'm not impressed by 300,000 signatures. I know there are a whole lot more stupid people in the world. So what? I'm not impressed with this petition.
Further injury is caused. Now, a man was also arrested at the scene and has been taken into custody. The number of dog attacks recorded by police in England and Wales has risen by more than a third in 5 years.
Because of people like this man. And the cops finally took one of the perpetrators down. Listen, for decades, I have spoken out against police misconduct. I'm one of the first to point out police misconduct. And the only way for me to have credibility is if I'm willing to point out when the police did the right thing. Here, they did the right thing. And you can tell they didn't want to shoot these dogs. How can these people possibly defend some lunatic whose dogs had already attacked someone and who is seen on camera walking away and leaving his 2 violent pit bulls alone with these cops? And really, y'all that much of a nutter? Did you think the dogs were the victim? They could have used less lethal force. Had any of you nutters been in the shoes of these cops, you would have shot these dogs too. It's easy for you to criticize when you were 3-4 stories above in your balcony looking down at the situation. The dogs were not after you.
While the dog population has only risen by 15%. Sadly,
The
both
dog population risen by let's back that up.
day. The number of dog attacks recorded by police in England and Wales has risen by more than a third in 5 years, while
Risen by more than 1/3 in 5 years, some 33%.
the dog population has only risen by 15%.
Even though the dog population has only risen 15%. So what's the cause in this? What's going on? It's the behavior of the people. Dog owners are becoming more reckless, more dangerous, or can just let it roam free. People have adopted this do whatever you want with your dog, let your dog do whatever it wants attitude. Have adopted and reinforced this lifestyle of bringing kids and babies around dogs. Give the dogs more and more freedom. Treat the dogs more like a human or more like a 2-year-old. Oh, don't worry about it. People are becoming more stupid. That's what's happening. The dodo, you all are promoting more and more stupid behavior. That's what's happening. That's the cause of this spike. Goofy nutters. They don't know how to identify a true threat. And they don't know how to identify when police officers actually do their job. They're so disconnected, they don't even know how to identify a safe community. Police show up, boom. Off 2 killers, 2 serial killers. And the pit nutters are unable to identify a community that has been made safer. So nobody cares what you think. Nobody cares about your little goofy petition.
Sadly, both people and other animals have been victims of dog attacks, either injured or killed, and experts have blamed owners for not being able to understand the signs of aggression in their pets.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's back that up.
Only risen by 15%. Sadly, both people and other animals have been victims of dog attacks, either injured or killed, and experts have blamed owners for not being able to understand the signs of aggression in their pets and then being unable to control them.
Okay. Well, listen. Don't talk about that as if it's even possible. Let's not do that. I'm not doing that with you. You heard what she said.
Either injured or killed, and experts have blamed owners for not
Experts have blamed owners
being able to understand the
for
signs.
not being able. Here we go, the same old rhetoric. Oh, you were just not understanding the signs. You just didn't see the warning signs. Shut up. Nobody wants to hear what your so-called experts have to say either. They're idiots too. I guess nobody is able to understand the warning signs. Such a con.
Signs of aggression in their pets and then being unable to control them.
And nobody is able. The experts who are blaming the owners for not being able to control them, they themselves can't control them. Had those so-called experts who's sitting back saying this been in this position, they would have been unable to control these pit bulls. Okay? So you still haven't said nothing. I haven't heard anything solid from the dog nutter world. Right now we're dealing with these pit nutters. Where's your argument here?
Now, police do have the powers to remove out of control dogs, and owners can be taken to court and fined. If they keep a pet, then they may be subject to restrictions such as wearing a muzzle or being placed in a cage. But police are adamant that if a dog poses a risk, they will take action, and they've been asking the public to contact them if they're...
Nobody cares what you from your balcony thinks. While there may be crooked cops out there, there are some good cops. And Those people, they want to make it home safe to their family. They don't want to be bitten, possibly killed. So listen, I don't care about your stupid petition. The presence of bully breeds in our communities. Benefits versus the cost. What are the benefits? Nothing. There are no benefits. Again, this is the UK Police Department. Like the police department here in the United States, is full of dog lovers. Don't try to sell me the idea that these people are dog haters. Look at this. Hold the police criminally accountable for the barbaric killing of 2 leashed dogs. Can you believe that they worded this like that? Two leashed dogs that had already attacked a woman and that were still acting aggressively, where the owner turned away and walked away and left them there off leash in front of police officers, deliberately putting the police officers in danger. And these people have the nerve to create a petition like this. I'm not impressed. Okay, so you have found almost 300,000 dumb people. I could have told you they existed. They say the police are trying to justify the barbaric killing of 2 dogs. Blah, blah, blah. Look at this. Yes, these dogs are barking and reacting to the police, but any normal dog would do the same when being approached by multiple armed, vocal people in uniform, surrounding them in such a threatening manner. So I guess the police are not supposed to be in uniform? You trying to blame the police for being in uniform? What is this? See, this is why there are some crusaders who just mock these nutters. Yeah, this is foolish. You almost have to stoop down to a certain level to engage this type of nonsense. Yeah, they're barking, but any normal dog would do the same. That's why those so-called normal dogs need to be removed from society. Just because you see a cop. And these dogs had attacked someone. So these cops had a right to walk up to them. They're talking as if the cops had no business approaching these dogs. Being approached by multiple armed, as if the dogs know that the people are armed. Dumb dogs don't know what a gun is. You see, they're trying to humanize the dog. Oh, where you were armed, that made the dog feel threatened. Get out of here. It's so ridiculous. Why is there so much ridiculousness involved in this nuttery? They continue to claim in their statement that these dogs were dangerously out of control, the petition says. And yet again, the video evidence shows this not to be the case. That's not what I saw. I saw the dogs out of control. And they were off leash. What are you talking about? Barking and lunging at them. The dogs on camera lunged at the police. They said these dogs even immediately calmed down when their owners asked them to. What? Is that what y'all saw in that video? Calm dogs charging at cops, off leash, their owner just walking away. Like, what are you talking about? This is crazy. So why then, it says, is it acceptable for the police to not only taser the owner, but shoot and kill both dogs at close range? What difference does it make? Close range or long range? One of which, it says, seemingly doesn't die straight away and is left to suffer on the canal path while shocked onlookers are left screaming. Okay, boo-hoo, so you're screaming. You saw cops kill a killer that had already attacked someone. And why, too, does the police officer, who has one of the dogs secure in the catch pole, then choose to release that dog and let it run back to its owner, only to be shot as it runs away? People, this is their attempt to project the idea that the cops simply wanted to shoot the dogs just because they wanted to shoot the dogs, just to see the dogs in pain. They're accusing the police of cruelty. That's their argument. What are you trying to say? That the cop decided to release the dog so that they can have a reason to shoot it? Yeah, that's what they're trying to accuse them of. This is unbelievable. An obvious lie. Look at this. Key points. Both dogs are leashed and under control. No, is that what y'all saw in that video? This is still the content of the petition. Is that what y'all saw in that video? Can y'all believe this? The nerve of these people. This is crazy. Shout out to Esmeralda, Lisa, and Charles D. Curry in the house. I see you, Tom. Look at this. Neither dog is dangerously out of control, the petition says. Really? That's not what I saw. Neither dog posed significant threat. Really? How dare you create a petition like this? This should be laughed at by all intelligent people. And it is being laughed at by the intelligent people in the world. Look at this. There's no solid evidence of what these dogs have been accused of doing. The police had no right to take matters into their own violent hands without proper and thorough investigation. What? What? Listen to this. This sounds like a bunch of idiots made this petition. This is laughable. Yes, there is evidence. The dogs were being violent and they had just attacked someone. If need be, these dogs could have been sedated, humanely seized, and the relevant authorities could have properly looked into the situation. If need be, the dogs can be shot on the spot by the police officers who are doing a job and in a situation that you're not doing and not in. Both dogs were acting in a perfectly acceptable way for the situation, barking at a very real and frightening threat. 7 armed, vocal, and menacing people advancing towards them. This is how they describe cops responding to a call of a woman who had been attacked. They describe them as menacing people. All because the dog is barking at them. Can you believe this? Again, they point out that the police are armed, as if the police shouldn't be. Vocal. So you're vocal, you're talking. So you're frightening the dogs. You're making them feel threatened. Listen, nobody cares about what a dog thinks about our voice. Don't try to give me a lecture on how the sound of human voices agitates dogs. I really don't care what agitates them. This is our world. See how they try to make us second class to dogs? This is our territory. This is our world. Dogs are in our world, under our care. It's like, what are you even talking about? The first dog is needlessly shot and doesn't die straight away. A bunch of nuttery. I'm not going to finish this nonsense. People, I was tempted to make a donation just to make a statement, just to leave a post. Yeah. How crazy. Now, at the time of this article, that petition, which was 2 days ago, that petition had 127,000 signatures. Now it has almost 300,000 because the media has been promoting the petition. Big deal. There are a bunch of dumb people in the world. Now let me ask y'all a question. All you pit nutters. How many of y'all remember this website? This seems to be some sort of offshoot from dogsbite.org. You see a link to dogsbite.org at the top. Maybe one of their sister websites. And it's a very good website. It's very up to date. You can see 46-year-old Tamika White at the very top. I just reported on her, the most recent victim, the police officer in Indianapolis. Let me ask y'all a question. Dog lovers, pit nutters, pit bulls, bully breeds, all large, vicious dogs. Benefits versus cost. What's the benefit? Oh, you get to relieve some anxiety and stress by rubbing on the dog. Oh, it feels good to rub on the dog. What is the price that we pay for having these things around? Multiple lives, not only taken, but destroyed via disfigurement. Now, this website only deals with fatalities. So you're telling me that the loss of all of these human lives is worth it because of some good emotion you get when you rub a dog. This is what you're saying. And I like the layout of this website because on the left, they put children, on the right, they put the adults. So you're saying these sacrifices is worth it. This is what you're saying, not me. You're saying it's worth having all these people die and be mutilated for some good feeling you get when you rub on a dog. Okay. I just wanted to establish that for the record. And that is what you are saying. I'm not putting words into your mouth. Okay. A cult like that will not stand the test of time. You're here now. You are here temporarily. This dog lover world is here temporarily. I would suggest all of the CEOs of these dog companies slowly start to segue into other pets. This is so ridiculous and crazy that I have confidence in people growing out of this despite them being as dumb as we see them are, as we see them. Right now, people, these nutters are out of their minds. But this is so ridiculous. This culture is so ridiculous that I trust eventually this will be history. Our websites, our comments on these videos, the videos themselves, many of them will be online for a very long time. There's a good chance they'll be online. They'll be available. 100 years from now, people will be able to listen to these videos and read your comments. I'm totally confident in what we're talking about and what we're saying. Yeah, it's only a matter of time. Yeah, it's so sad. It's like, really? Any one of these people, on the right or the left, could have turned into somebody very beneficial to society. You have these kids, any of them could have been a doctor, lawyer, scientist, could have came up with something that permanently changed humanity. Could have came up with a cure for something. They could have been simple business owners who helped to employ others, who did things that helped people, not just themselves, that helped advance civilization. Dogs cannot ever do anything like that. But according to these nutters, it's worth it. That only makes you inhumane. Your own actions and beliefs make you subhuman. That's a shame. This is why, honestly, the opinions of people don't bother me. I don't care what no one thinks about people like me. I know what I'm about, what I believe. I know where my heart and mind is. And I know where yours is if you support a world like this. Human intelligence will always be impaired when we refuse to function the way that we're supposed to function. We are supposed to do whatever we have to do to protect ourselves, our existence, and to not accept the loss of anyone, not even one person, unnecessarily. These attacks are not necessary. They're not normal. There's nothing normal about it. Inviting and living with these things as if they're family members, there's nothing normal about that. And there will always be a segment of society dead set against it. So get used to us, dog lovers. I know a lot of you hope, you may even believe that we are a temporary group. No. No. Hopefully, most of you are smarter than that. News website. Yeah. Now, look, a lot of them, they could have grown up to be horrible people. That's possible, of course. But the point is, we don't know. And that's what makes it such a crime. As I said before, one life of a human is more valuable than all the dogs on the planet. I believe that's an irrefutable fact. Under no circumstance is it acceptable to sacrifice one human life for the life of a dog. I don't care how much they try to humanize dogs. They know full well they cannot argue that the life of a dog is just as valuable as the life of a human being. Like I said before, the life of a dog is not even as valuable as the life of insects that actually are beneficial to the environment. How crazy is that? We have solid evidence that these things should be gotten rid of. You got other natural animals that serve some type of benefit to society and to the environment, to the ecosystem. But there's no way that you can argue that dogs benefit society at all. They don't benefit nothing. Communities, nothing. It's only a fact that they ruin everything. Literally everything. So I believe that they will get over 300,000 signatures. We'll see what type of punishment is, administered to the police department, if there is any type of punishment, which there should not be. And if there is any punishment, and even if there is not any punishment, if y'all get a call from a nutter who's being attacked by their dog, let them help themselves. How about that? Since you don't want the cops to use deadly force against a dog, how about they just not respond to any of your dog-related calls? What would you think about that? Oh, you're inside of your home being mauled by a dog? Well, you just had a petition just because we shot a dog that had attacked someone and was still trying to attack others. So you're on your own. How about that, nutters? Since dogs are so easy to control, right? As you're getting mauled, the cops should walk up to you and just smile, wave at you, and wish you luck. If this is how you're going to respond to them, protecting the community, then you brought that onto yourself. This is basically what you're asking for, and they should give it to you. Most definitely. The worst type of dog worship. We can follow up on this. Most definitely. Yeah. And you look at all the resources that we're wasting on dogs. It's irrefutable that the resources that we waste on dogs could have instead been used for us. And I mean everything. Creating their dog food, all of the labor that goes into creating everything for dogs. That could be invested in us, in people. Dogs, in so many ways, they cripple society. And I think it's crazy how y'all remember I talked about this shortly after it happened. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 adults to deal with one dog. And one dog will have 7 adults, armed adults, backing up. What exactly was the reason for this guy turning around? These dogs are not on a leash right now. What are they talking about in this petition? They're not on no leash. And this proves it. How could they get this many people to sign that petition when what they say in the petition is not seen in the video? That's all you have to stand on. Like literally. Wow. You know how I talk about how they lie so much? Is this not another example? Look at how bold, how confident they are in telling a bold-faced lie. Despite what we see on camera, they put emphasis on this belief that these dogs were on a leash at the time that they were shot. They're saying that right now the dogs were on a leash. Yeah, they're on a leash, and nobody was holding a leash. And that's why the cops shot them. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. You know, of course, I hope for the worst for the dog lovers and for the dogs. You know, I hope your petition gets thrown out, your case gets thrown out. You don't deserve to have this taken seriously. Okay, this is ridiculous. Shout out to everybody able to join me on this live stream. And I hope to have you all back on the next as we continue with this crusade.